Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I feel like you guys are over a little bit, still playing around with the angle. Let me know what you think of the lighting and stuff in this video. I'm still trying to figure it out with this new camera, so let me know how this is. I feel like I might need to position you guys a little bit more over this way, but we're gonna go with it today. So what I wanted to talk about today is products that I consider to be great products that I feel like I don't show enough love to. I don't talk about them that much on the channel, and some of these products I don't know that I've ever talked about on the channel. I know, because most of these are like things that I constantly repurchase. So we're gonna fix that today and just talk about some things. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm realizing that I only have like 2 actual makeup items, but that's okay. Let's start with like face products. So I have 2 masks to mention, and these masks really solidified in my mind this year as absolute favorites because of what they've done for my skin. Now these are like polar opposites in my opinion, but this first one right here is probably one of my favorite mask brands, and this is from Freeman, and it's the Freeman Feeling Beautiful Facial Peel Off Mask in Cucumber, and it says it renews and clarifies the skin. I absolutely agree. I was so standoffish to this mask because I was like, peel off? That just seems like too much work. I just want to put you on, wash you off, be done. But honestly, it's kind of fun to peel it off and just do a thicker layer so that you can just get most of it off in 1 to 2 swipes. But it really is so clarifying and so skin renewing. But the one thing I was, ooh, don't grab that hair. But the one thing I will say about it is that it's not drying. This is so, it's very hydrating to the skin. And I have just appreciated that so much more. So when I need to clarify my skin and I don't want to strip all the moisture out, this is the mask that I go to. I love a ton of masks from this line, but this is definitely one of the best that I've tried from this line. I've tried a couple that were really just kind of middle of the road for me, but this is one of the ones that I feel like definitely makes a difference in the skin. And I've repurchased it, and so I was like, you know, you need to talk about this on your channel. So here I am mentioning it, talking about it. And then the next mask, this is the Neutrogena Clear Pore Cleanser / Mask. So it says you can use it as a daisy. Sure you could. You can use it as a daily cleanser. I need some water. Or you can use it as an intensive mask. Now, I use this as an intensive mask, but here's what I will say. This is so drying. I mean, so drying on the skin, but it is so good. This is my like out of trouble mask, and what I mean is that this mask seriously does not take very long. This is the mask that I use when I like literally want to put something on my skin for a minute or 2, literally, and then I want to wash it off. Or if I'm doing a mask in the morning because I was too tired at night and I'm putting it on for about a minute and then I'm washing it off. This is that type of mask for me. Now I have put it on and left it on for extended period of times, but for the most part I'm using it the way I just mentioned. It's a white creamy mask that comes out. I have used it for a cleanser in the past, but it's just way too drying, so I would not use it as a cleanser now. But it is a really good intense mask. You could also use this as a spot treatment, which I have done. Like sometimes if I just get a whole bunch of breakouts down here, I'll just take it and just put it down there on that area, especially now with the dry skin. I'll just put it in very targeted zones and just let it really dry out the acne. And I actually did that last night, so I do have some scabs where the acne is actually being dried out right now, so I do got to go in and rehydrate again. But this is just so good for that. I think it's a great mask. If your skin can handle it, maybe try it as a cleanser, but honestly it's just so drying that for me I only use it as a mask. But I think this is an amazing mask, and sometimes I'll follow this up with like a honey treatment or something like that to just renew my skin. And then another thing that I don't think I've ever mentioned, but I have put so many people in my personal life onto this. Best friends, family members, siblings, just everybody I'm telling about this. I found this randomly when I was like a freshman or a sophomore in undergrad. Like I was just walking around CVS. I used to do that sometimes, just go and walk around CVS when they had sales. Like in between classes or something, and just walk around and see what's new. And I remember seeing this at the bottom, and it was like 2 for $5, and I was just like, Arm & Hammer Radiant. It did. Now this is different packaging because back then it was just Arm & Hammer Whitening Booster. Now they call it the Truly Radiant Whitening Booster. but it still seems to be the exact same product. And what you do with this is you just take it and you put it on top of your toothpaste and then brush your teeth like you normally would. And I think this makes a huge difference. If you're a coffee drinker, if you drink a ton of tea, you know, it can stain the teeth. So I like to use this. Now, it can make your teeth a little bit sensitive. I personally haven't really noticed that, but I also have naturally very, very sensitive teeth. So I only use this just a couple times a week, or sometimes if I have been drinking coffee or tea really heavily, then I will go in and use this a little bit more heavy. But for the most part, I use this every once in a while at night, and it just works so well. I can't even tell you how many of these I repurchased. Typically, I purchase these in the 2s because I try to catch them when they're on sale 2 for $5, and then I just stock up. So I have been purchasing these now for years, and I just wanted to mention it because it might be worth checking out. I think you would really enjoy it. Another thing that I have repurchased so much, and I'm actually like right down to the bottom of, is the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. I don't know that I've ever mentioned this on the channel, but what I like this for is my eye brushes. Sometimes you want to use that specific eye brush, but you need to clean it off a little bit. So I'll just take this and spray it on, you know, some paper towel or on the brush, and then just swirl the brush around to get whatever color off so that I'm not mixing colors. And this has just worked so well for that. It hasn't done anything to my brushes. I don't typically use this for my face brushes, but for the eye brushes, when you just need to switch between colors really quick, this has been great. I have purchased so many of these, it's ridiculous. And I feel like I always forget to tell you guys about it or mention it in the favorites video. So I wanted to mention it now. I think it's so good. And I think it's $2 or $3 from e.l.f. Sometimes e.l.f. keeps changing their pricing up on me. So, and then the next thing, now I feel like I talked about this on the channel years ago, but I don't really remember if I ever talked about it on the channel. This is the BH Cosmetics Contour and Blush 6-color palette. Now, BH Cosmetics for me has been hit or miss. I found some things that I really like. I have some brushes by them that are my absolute favorite, as well as some other items. And then I have some things from them that is just middle of the road, and then some things I just really have not liked. But this palette I really like. I think the packaging is very sturdy. And then you open it up. Now, there isn't a mirror, but when you open it up, I mean, the pans are huge. And what you get is 3 colors as setting powders. Excuse me, guys. 3 colors that are setting powders. So like a white one that's kind of tinted, a little bit yellow, and then one that has like a pinky, peachy tint to it. Then you get the contour down here, which I think is like the perfect blend of like a contour bronzer. I really wish they actually sold this exact shade by itself, because I actually think this makes a great bronzer. Like, it contours and it does a good job with that, but it just walks that fine line of just being both. You know how some shades are just clearly meant more for contouring, and typically they're a little bit cooler, and then some other ones, but I love this. And then the blushes. The blushes are probably the one thing in here that I'm disappointed in. Not in terms of the quality or anything like that. I think all of the products in here are actually surprisingly really, really nice quality. And I find that they last well. I haven't had any problems with them. But I'm just disappointed in how close the colors are. Like, you gotta look at these super, super close. Look how close. To realize, like, oh, it's different by just the hair, but the difference is so subtle, and on my cheeks they basically look like the same blush. So I feel like they could have took this opportunity to put in blushes that were distinctly different, like maybe put, you know, like a, I don't know, just a different blush, because these are very, very, very similar. So, and oh, and this is the Contour and Blush Palette 1. They also have a Contour and Blush Palette 2. Now, because of my skin tone, I could have went with either one. I think 2 was recommended more for women of color, and then 1 was recommended for like lighter or medium skin tones. But I went with this one because at the time the blushes looked like they were different on the website, and I really wanted the blushes that were in here, but they're very, very similar. But besides that, this is a palette that I use a lot, and honestly, when I'm busy, I also use it a ton because it's just so multitasking. You know, I can set my under eye with it. I've used all of these shades to get a quick eye look out of. I can contour, I can put on my blush. It's just easy peasy, you're done. And like I said, sturdy packaging, works really, really well. So I absolutely love this. Like I said, my only complaint is probably that the blushes are so similar, but the quality is really, really nice with these. So really like that. And then the final thing that I don't even think I talked about this last summer. Did I? I don't know. But I just want to mention it again. And this is just more of a statement to their lotions in general. Now, this is the only one I grabbed to show you guys, but I have found that I actually really, really like the Shea Moisture lotions. And I feel like I'm very picky with lotion just because my skin is so dry, and I find that I have to like lotion and re-lotion and add oil and just all of that. But this one is really, really hydrating. So this is the Shea Moisture Fruit Fusion Coconut Water Energizing Body Lotion. With, I don't even know how to say that, but I'll do a close-up so you can see it. But this smells so good. When I smell this, I think about last summer. Smells so good. Yeah, when I smell this, I think about last summer. This is like the perfect mix of like fruity and fresh. It's the perfect blend of fruity and fresh, but yet it's soft. But it's not so soft that people won't smell you, but it's not so loud that it'll give you a headache. They just bottle up just perfect in this bottle. I love this so much. And they have so many scents. I'm about halfway through with my bottle, and this product shocked me. Because I thought it was like, honestly, I really bought it because I was like, oh, this is cute, and the name kind of got to me and all of that, and then I smelled it and it smelled good. But honestly, the product inside is fantastic. It is one of the best lotions that I've tried, and I feel like typically I stick to Burt's Bees for just lotions. Not body butters, but just lotions. But this, I feel like I just want to try all the scents because the formula is so good. So, all right, so I'm gonna stop hyping that product up now, but I just felt like these products deserved a little bit of love from me, especially since they're things that I've been using for such a long time now. And so I wanted to go ahead and mention them to you guys because maybe you use them too and you don't talk about them as much, or you haven't mentioned them to anybody, and so maybe this is a good time to do that. I would love to hear if you've had experiences with any of these products. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Is there a product in your collection? It does not have to be makeup that you feel like it's kind of underrated in your makeup collection in terms of the fact that like you love it so much but you don't talk about it often. I would love to hear. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to let me know what you think of the lighting, because I've been trying to adjust it, but I'm just still not sure when I got it. So let me know when I get it. All right, bye.